What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, people? What's going on? What is going on? How we doing? How we doing? It is a Monday. It's a Monday. I hope everybody's weekend went awesome, went great, and everything that's supposed to happen on the weekend happened. I hope a lot of people stayed out of trouble, unlike what's been going on. It's not good. It's not good. But anyway, again, I hope everybody had a good time. Just got a little message here on my. Yeah, I'm going to the state fair this year. They got a 90s act for the Minnesota State Fair. TLC and some of everybody else supposed to be in town. So that should be pretty good. That should be pretty good. That's old. That's for the old. That's for the old crowd. Not for these little young punks that's running around doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. That's for the older crowd. So it should be safe for everybody. No, we can sit here and try to act like if we want to. But a lot of things have been going on, a lot of things have been happening that it's time to pull the rug from up under a lot of things that's going on. There's no ifs, ands, buts about that. But I was going through some of my old videos. If you ever go to YouTube, if you want to, it's on the U, and type my name in, RevTChristopher, a lot of my videos will pop up. And I was going through some of those videos, not these videos, but me testifying, me being interviewed and things of that sort. And I was going through some of them because if you listen to me 4 years ago, if you go back 4 years and listen to what I've been saying about the crime, if you listen to what I've been saying on interviews about the guns, if you listen to what I've been saying on interviews about the drugs, everything is happening today. So I've got a track record. There's a track record of me pretty much saying, I told you so. It's a track record of me saying this. I told you so. I told you this was going to happen. I told you what's going to go down. It's a track record of me saying this. I can put it out there for you. It's on video of me saying point blank, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going down. When you live in the damn streets, when you know the streets, when you understand, you can pretty much predict what's about, because you can feel it, you can see it, you can smell it, you can hear it, you can talk to people about it. The problem is nobody really wants to do anything. They don't want this stuff to change. That's what I'm trying to make people understand. You understand? Try to figure out, why is the state going down? Why is the city going down? Why can't I go downtown and enjoy myself, have a dinner, have this, have that? If you don't go to the North Loop, I wouldn't suggest you go downtown right now. I'm just saying. I know you got people in Minneapolis that ride their bikes around Minneapolis and do this and do that. But what y'all don't understand is when you see these people out in Minneapolis trying to walk around and try to act like it's the most safest place in the world, these are white folks who they know. These are white folks who are in Minneapolis who know where to go and where. Here's the thing about this stuff that I've told y'all. If you white and you live in Minneapolis, You live downtown. You live in certain parts of St. Paul. You know where to go. And you know where not to go. Right? I mean, let's be real about this thing. You know where to go and you know where not to go. Did I got this? Okay. And you know where not to go. And most of these people that you see riding around on bikes or walking to a donut shop or a bread store or whatever that is, they know the safest areas to go. And those are the places they go. Well, no, it's okay. You can come down here. Well, let me put you on the mindset of some of the people that I talk to, some of the people that I deal with, some of the people that I try to turn around and try to make. Some of the kids that I see in the detention center, in the juvenile detention center. If I'm in gang A and I see somebody from gang B, I don't know if the one from gang A is going to shoot me because I'm in gang B. Are you following me here? So if I'm an everyday normal citizen who is out with his family and we happen to be sitting outside, which downtown, I don't suggest that when the summer hits. If I'm looking down there and I'm like, hey, that's the dude from gang A. And this family who's outside eating their food just happens to be in the line of fire. You think I care? You think that I give a care that there's between me and that person from gang A is sitting is in between that there's a family. Do you really think I care? I don't. Your life is not more important than my life. It's not. And if the person from gang A sees me at the same time I see them, and he draws and I draw, anything in the middle, oh well, you walking down Hennepin Avenue and you just happen to be in the middle. Three years ago, I said that the age limit, 3 years ago, I said this, when these 17 and 18-year-old boys were running around Minneapolis with guns. And the more I talked to some of the younger boys who was out selling drugs or dealing with drugs or around somebody with their, all this stuff have to do with drugs. Okay? So let's make sure we understand this. All of this gunplay with these younger kids, all of this has to do with drugs. But I said that 3 years ago, that the gunplay is going to get younger and younger and younger. That's what's going to happen. Because these young boys are coming up of age now where they want to make this money. They want to get paid. They want the jewelry, and they want to be in the rap videos and all of this stuff. It's not like they didn't see this happening. It's not like they didn't see this coming. It isn't. The black community watched it happen. We did. They watched it happen. The moms and dads of these kids who are out here in the streets right now doing what they're doing, they watched their kid, they watched them They watch this like you wouldn't believe. And no matter what anybody said, everybody walked around with blinders on in the community. That happened. Now, I talk about like Moms Demand and Protect Minnesota, these white liberal suburban women who are running around here who are literally making the Democratic Party come up with bills, come up with ways to cut down on their kids getting shot down in schools. Because that's what that's all about, right? Ron Last and the Democrats and Punto and all of them that's putting these bills out of here, they're doing it for these white women who are pissed off that their kids are getting shot in schools. They're pissed off. They're upset. They're mad. You do something. It needs to happen right now. They raise money for these people. They lobby for these people. These white women were smart enough to come into the black community, no joke, and find ways to make money off the black community to give to these politicians. All this money that they poured out of the black community, that's why I sit and I say, if y'all think Black Lives Matter left here with a big bag, these white women came into the black community and left here with a big black bag also. So when y'all always talk about, all the money that Black Lives Matter this and Black Lives Matter that, but y'all never talk about the money that these white women left here with. And they did. They used George Floyd. They used the death of George Floyd, the death of these black kids, and the death to raise all of that money, and they gave it to the Democrats. And then the Democrats used all that money, right, to kick out some Republicans and the fund of whatever gun bill or whatever they had going on. That happened right here in the state of Minnesota. But we don't talk about that. You don't never hear them. I don't even hear Rob Dorr and Brian Scrosser even talking about that part. They talk about the guns, but they don't talk about how these white women got all of that money. And they the gun aficionado gurus. But I can't hate on them though sometimes. So I really sometimes can't hate on them. When is the last time you heard a black mother at the state capitol making some type of noise over the guns that come into the black community? The guns that one of their son used probably to shoot another black kid. When the last time you heard a black lawmaker, maybe Cedric Frazier, but only thing Cedric does, he runs around in an echo chamber. He only wants to hear what he wants to hear. Cedric is not out here actually doing something about it. He's not out here to help to stop what goes on in the black community. He puts together these little town hall gets up, and then he invites the same people who echo the same thing he once echoed, and nothing changes. So what good is he doing? None. What Cedric Frazier is doing, it ain't helping nobody. I went to the one he had in Crystal, a New Hope, wherever. Looked him dead in the face. What are you doing? What are you doing? You got the same people literally saying the same thing. That's not getting us anywhere. That's not helping nobody. That's not changing the trajectory of how these kids or what these kids doing and getting these guns and how they are. You just got an echo chamber here. You don't hear black folks. We so busy suing Target. We're so busy going after Target that our babies are dying in the streets. But Target is our problem. Target is the reason that everything is going wrong in the black community. Oh, it's Target. What's up, John? Oh, my goodness, brother. How you been, man? Target. That's what we're going for. We had 5 kids under the age of 18 shot just a couple days ago. And you know what's important to us? Target. Suing or shutting down, as Cortez Rice puts it, shutting down Target. Or as I'm told by one person, it's about the principle. It's about I forgot what she said. Anyway. Babies dying and Target. John says he's been busy. All right, man. No, trust me, I understand, man. I hadn't been on. I wasn't on last week. What did I do? Just Friday last week? I've been dealing with some stuff and trying to make some moves, and yeah, man. So I understand being busy, and like I said, you know me, I try to keep myself busy so I don't go crazy. But I'm glad to have you on tonight, man. Seriously, glad to have you on. But Target, that's what's been blowing my mind. We got people stealing money because that George Floyd money. So George Floyd's family gave, I don't know who, but I'm going to find out. So George Floyd gave the city, I don't know if the city or who, well, they gave him a lot of money for Minneapolis over in that area. And I come to find out that some comedian out in Cottage Grove got $42,000. A comedian. What is a comedian? What right do a comedian has? A comedian. No joke. I'm gonna post it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. So what I'm about to post is a list of people who got money from George Floyd. I'm gonna get back to what I was talking about. Every now and then I get into one of those modes where we kind of bounce around a little bit. But I really, really want to put this out there. But here's a list, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna send this to my Twitter, so you guys can take to the X. So this is George Floyd money is what I'm going to call it. George Floyd money. And here's a list of people who got money, when the George Floyd family gave this money to whomever, to the city or whatever. Here's a list of some of the people who got the money. And you're going to sit there and go, what do they need money? No, seriously. This is how we do things in the black community. But the thing that got me is there's a comedian on here that, where's it at? $42,000. I want to know that comedian that got the $42,000. It's a grant for business. What business? What business? $42,000. I just posted it. You can once we're done, y'all go look at that. No, seriously, go look at that list of black folks. I don't know if it's black folks. I can't say that, but there's so-called businesses in that area that got all of this George Floyd money. And as I'm looking at this thing, I'm sitting here going, is this the same comedian? Matter of fact, I do believe that this is a comedian I ain't never said nothing to about, and I was about to give her a compliment on something. And I go to her page, I'm blocked. And I'm like, I've never even spoken to this person. Now I understand why she blocked me. Now I'm getting why she blocked me. Now I understand, because she knew one day, she knew it. One day, I'm going to be asking her, what did she get $42,000 for? You need to tell us, show us an itemized on the $42,000 that you got from George Floyd and that George Floyd money, lady. Because if you can't do it, you're a crook. You're not funny, you're a crook. You're not a comedian, you're a crook. But anyway, I should go to WCCO and ask her myself. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But we ain't in the black community. I mean, 5 kids just got shot, and you don't pretty much hear nothing, do you? You don't hear no rumblings or nothing from the black community, correct? Because we're so used to it that it just goes over our heads now. It's literally no big deal that black kids are killing and shooting each other. That it just literally goes over our head. Like, it's Monday. No big deal. And then you got people like KSTP and CBS. What do? They go run talk to the same so-called activists. These kids ain't listening to these boneheads that they call activists, or people want to be activists. You know what an activist in the black community is? A money-grubbing money humper. That's it. There is nothing these activists have done or doing in the black community but collecting a damn paycheck. Collecting money. Black death is money for people and put it in a... Listen, people. No, I'm not holding back tonight. No. It all comes out. Get mad at me if you want. Every time I make one of these videos, I get like, oh, Rev, you can't be talking about the black community like that. Because of what I do in the black community, I got every right to say whatever the hell I want. And let me put it to you a different way. If you don't like what I have to say, I got a brown spot. I can turn around and I got a big brown spot. Pucker your lips up. You don't even have to. I'll back into you. Let's put it that way. Because I can't say what I want to say, because then people be like, oh, listen to him. He's 5 kids shooting at each other. 5 of them. Broad daylight. In public. At a restaurant. Not including the ones that in some apartment building shooting each other. Our kids. This is what they're doing. So your news station, like I say, KSTP. What the first thing they do? They go find somebody, activist. No, that's a money chaser. That's a bag chaser. That's what they are. Let's call them what they are. Because if activists and all of this stuff that's going on that they giving all this money to, if it worked, would kids be shooting and killing each other? If that worked, would kids be running around here having guns with drums, 100 round drums on them, with switches? If these activists worked, if all of this money that's been going into this community, if all of that money worked that went to the people who are getting this money, if that worked, would we be going through what we're going through now? Would we be going through for what we're about to what's about to happen this summer? Would we? No. If all that money that that millions of dollars that have gone into programs, nonprofits, call themselves Helping North Minneapolis, would North Minneapolis look the way it do now? Would the mindset of the people be the way that they are now? Hell, you can't even get these people. These people living the way that they do. Know that there could be a change. The only thing they have to do is go vote. Half of black people that's in there, don't vote. Don't vote. But Lord, the mercy. Don't let some bonehead run from the cop with a gun and the cop shoot him and kill him. We come out of the woodworks. That's the only time you ever see black folks. Well, I know. You see them when they run up in churches and do that type of crap. Or if they go down and talk about doing something to Target. But them same black folks, I ain't seen them at that Popeyes making noise saying we need to do something different, saying we need to change the structure of the way we do things. We need to think better as black folks. We need to find out a way to get something going on with some of these moms and dads of these kids who are out here running around causing all this trouble, doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. I ain't heard them people nowhere doing that. You can't make me even remotely close to sitting here saying that we need to start in the black community understanding that these kids under the age of 18 who ain't had no gun training, ain't got no gun license, don't even know, couldn't even tell you how to clean the gun. It's okay for them to run around with firearms. But I understand why they're doing it. When you have a city that's basically saying that it's okay to have open air drug sales. Listen to what I'm saying. Go just sell whatever you want right on the streets. You know what? Matter of fact, sell all you want. We're not going to bother you. But if you sell somebody some bad fentanyl, you sell somebody some bad heroin, we're going to put machines. We're going to put machines on the side of the road so you can go get that Narcan to save their life. That's what we're going to do. That's going to be our answer to open air drug sales. That's going to be our answer to people buying bad dope. That's going to be our answer to overdoses. We're not going to go and clean it up. We're just going to put these here Narcan machines all over the city. So if somebody's overdosing from that, drugs, this is what we're doing as a city. This is how crazy, right? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. I was just over in Plymouth. There's nowhere in Plymouth they have Narcan stations. Nowhere. Plymouth and Edina. I was in Medina. Sorry. There's nowhere in those two areas that I see go to Minneapolis. Why? Because you can just go right down the street and buy the drugs. And who's more than likely selling these drugs? These young pups. Why are they selling the drugs? Simple. Because they don't get in that much trouble if they get caught. And for some households, tell the truth, Because it's not like if mom and dad don't know what these kids are doing. These kids come up with 4 or 5 pair of Jordans, brand new rope chains, diamond earrings in their ears so big their ears falling off. The mom and dad know they didn't buy those things. So how are those kids getting all those stuff? Hell, some of the kids are paying the damn note on the house, paying for the electricity bill, buying the groceries that come in the house. Some of these parents know exactly what their kids are doing. Be over there in Maple Grove. I ain't seen a white kid on the corner selling dope. I ain't seen a white kid stood up at Holiday Station or one of the gas stations standing there in their hoodie with their head. Hold on. I ain't seen not one white kid at a gas station. But you go to Minneapolis. Go to any damn gas station. You got 4 or 5 black boys standing there with their hood on, with their little ski mask and all that there doing this here. Selling drugs. I ain't seen that nowhere else. And that's okay in our community. Everybody that drives up to that gas station know exactly what those boys are doing. And don't say a word. Hell, half of y'all buying from them. But let me go out here in some other neighborhood. I don't see that. When I come out of Plymouth and I stop by that Holiday Station there on 55, I ain't see nobody standing on the corner. I ain't see nobody posted up on the side of the building. Nothing. But you come in my neighborhood, they all over. All over. Because the elected officials let it happen. The so-called black man, who's supposed to be the man in that CD5 area, who is the president up there at the Capitol, ain't done shit. He don't even speak out about it. When is the last time that man spoke out about this stuff that goes on? You ain't heard Ilhan Omar. She ain't said in her district, ain't said a word. Nothing. Nothing. And Democrats don't expect her to say anything. The only thing they expect her to do is piss off Donald Trump. She ain't said a word. I ain't heard nothing from her. We're not going to get anything from Mayor Fry because Mayor Fry knows that only reason he's in there is because nobody wanted a socialist dealing with Minneapolis. If we would have got a socialist, the bonehead who wanted to be mayor, it would have been, we realized it would have been twice as worse. And y'all know that as well as I do. Tim Walz is all but done. Tim Walz really didn't do a damn thing when he was in there from the get jump. But ain't nothing changed because nobody really want to change anything. And those who call themselves want to do something, only reason they really want to do something because they see a dollar sign at the end of this rainbow. That's it. Because again, all the money that has been doused into North Minneapolis, what has changed? What has changed? Again, go to YouTube, type in my name, Timmy Christopher, and watch my videos. And then listen to what I said 3 years ago. Listen to what I said 4 years ago. Listen to what I said 5 years ago. And tell me, did I not nail it? Did I not? Exactly what's going on right now, I said 5 years ago. What you see right now, 5 years ago, I said this is going to happen. And I could get nobody to hear me, nobody to listen to me. Democrats don't deal with me at all. I cannot get a meeting with a Democrat. Can't do it. Because everything I believe in, they don't believe in it. So because everything I believe in, because they don't believe in, they ain't talking to a black person. And I know I always hear y'all talk about that whole, Democrats only deal with black people because they vote for them and all this here type of stuff. That's just not true. I can tell you right here. They don't deal with me because I don't play in the same pool that they want me to play in. Yeah, if I turned around and I was anti-gun, oh yeah, they'll deal with me. If I turned around and I talked about gay marriage, they'll deal with me. I talked around having men in women's sports and girls, men in women's prison. They'll deal with me. If I turn around and put together some type of a nonprofit that they can put money into the nonprofit and I give them kickbacks. Oh, man, I would be. I mean, they bought the biggest black church in North Minneapolis. They own that church. I don't know. Maybe if you gave me $2.1 million every single year, I don't know. Maybe I'll roll over. You can't buy me. You just can't buy me. It can't happen. That's not how I see this thing. But you give all of these nonprofit all this money, and what has happened? Nothing. But the people who got these nonprofits, they get to move out. They get to move out of Minneapolis and go live and go buy houses somewhere else. They don't deal with me because they don't want the truth. Just like I was saying at KSTP. I saw a story that KSTP did with some so-called activists. No, KSTP, you want to come right here. See that? But again, what y'all don't understand is these people don't want the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear some activists come up and talk about, well, if we have more programs, and the program that I want to start and program I want to put together, well, there is no program. Zero program. None. Whether it's happening or you start it, that's going to change what's going on right now. Because the young people are not listening to these activists. They already know what's up with these activists. They know these activists are out here for the buck, for the dollar. That's why they don't listen to them. That's why they don't listen to them. Because they're on up. They know what the activists are about also. Activists see them exactly what they are, dollar signs. See, the problem, and I've said this 5 years ago, I said this 4 years ago, I said this 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and I'm going to say it again. The black church has let the community down. That's why ain't nobody up in black churches no more. That's why you see so many empty seats, because the black church, only people go to black churches are old people. Go to any black church on a Sunday. So seriously, go to black churches on Sunday. Old people. Young people are not in there anymore because they realize Drewski didn't tell a lie. All these mega churches that popped up, all these pimp preachers you got out there, driving around in nice cars, having people buy them nice suits and all this here type of stuff. No, buy your suits where I buy my suit from the suit lady. You got to have $500 suit. My suit is like $120. I can get my suits and they good suits too. Yeah, I got a lot of suits. I got a whole closet full of suits. But I don't go get them tailor-made. I don't go get them $500, $600, $700 suits For one suit? For what they pay for one suit, I can buy 3 suits and probably get a pair of shoes out of it. But see, when you're accepting that government money, you can do that. When you're accepting that money that's supposed to be used for the community, those are the type of things. But the black church, boy, I fight tooth and nail. Matter of fact, so now I'm not going to talk about that. Half of the black churches don't teach you nothing anymore. Oh, they teach you about God, but a lot of people in there know about God, but they don't give you bread. They don't give you bread like they're supposed to. They don't give you bread like some of the old preachers used to. Old preachers talked about bad politicians. Old preachers talked about bad policies. See, these preachers these days, they don't want to mess up that 501c3. They don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to come down to earth and start teaching people, really giving people real bread. Hell, I asked the people in my church one Sunday, and I said, do you know what a socialist is? Ain't nobody in church raised their hand. They all sat there. That tells me that us ministers in that church, we ain't doing our job really. We're not teaching. We're not giving these people bread. Every Sunday you come into my church, what are they preaching? That God is good. Already know it. Already know that. We know that he died on the cross for either one of us. See, but we don't give them anything for when they walk out of the building. We don't give them that. It's a different world once we walk out the building, but we're not feeding these people the way we're supposed to feed them. And that's why a lot of people are just not coming to church anymore. I hear the same thing over and over. I can turn on, you can go on TV and or YouTube or whatever and go to each black preacher and he's saying the exact same thing. The exact same thing. And a lot of these young people are sitting there going, I'm tired of the old way. I'm tired of the way you keep doing it. Bring me up to speed. Let me preach it a different way. The word will never change, but the way that you can bring the word, that can always change, and it has changed. Correct? I mean, look at gospel music. Gospel music back in the day. Look at gospel music back in the day. And look at some of the gospel music that we got now. It's like the DMX, Lord, give me a sign. I like that. I jam that all the time. They even really talk to you, Lord. Huh? He said, I'm a big boy now and I'm still not grown. I'm still going through it, the pain and the hurt. God's word will never change. It can always be the same. But sometimes, put a little sugar on that bread that you're giving me. That's the difference with me in my church. When I bring God's word, it's totally different from anybody in my church. Anybody. Because their mindset is, I got to get to the part where I start hooping. You know. Me, I'm like, I ain't here to hoop for you. I ain't here to scream. I ain't here to holler. I ain't here to talk fast. I'm not here to rhyme. But I'm here to give you exactly what God told me to give you, gave me to give you. And that meshes with a younger crowd. That meshes with younger people. But the black church have failed in community, left and right. Yeah, I know, every now and then. Not every. I say every now and then. They giving out milk, cereal, and stuff of that sort. I get that. But we got to start telling the truth about the community. We've got to start telling the truth about the husband and the wife. We got to start telling the truth about the single mom and the single dad. And we definitely got to start telling the truth about some of these kids that are out here doing dirty in the community. A lot of us know who those kids are. But see, here's the thing with all this, and I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. I got 10 minutes, and I'm going to be done. There's no place for these kids to go. That's the problem. There's no place to put these kids, right? And a lot of people are sitting there going, we just can't throw these kids away. We can't just take and put these kids in like prisons. We can't go back to the 1990s where we were literally taking 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids and just throwing them in prison and forgetting about them. Who cares about them? It doesn't matter. No, we can't do that. That's not what I'm about. I'm not sitting here saying that. But we need a place that where we can take and get these kids some type of rehab, some type of help. They need help, people. You know how they always talking about, the minute a white person shoots up a school, and the first thing they say, mental health, right? That's the first thing to come out of their mouth. Mental health. Not that they're a thug, not that they're this and that. It's always mental health. Well, we got black kids in the same position. Sad part about it, you don't have a lot of black people out here talking about it or trying to make a difference with these kids and when it comes to their mental health. If you got kids that every single day they feel that things are coming down on them, things are hurting them, if you got those kids every single day, then let's do something different. Let's try something different. We keep trying the same thing. And as long as we get the news organizations, the news people that run around and keep pushing the same water, nothing's going to change. At KSTP, first thing they did, like I said, is run around and found somebody. And that's what's shocking to me sometimes. How they can, these news organizations, they can just go find some Negro out there to say stuff about. Unbelievable. Why can't you go find some Negro out there that's going to tell you the truth and what we need cleaned up, what we need to have happen? You can't find nobody then. But you let a tragedy, let something happen. They're that quick. That quick, they'll find somebody. White media, man. Always looking for that. Why don't you do a story on how things are not progressing? Why don't you do a story how these kids are getting these firearms? Where are these firearms going from? At KSTP. You won't do one of those stories because that is not where you want things to happen. That's not where you want things to go. That don't bring in news. Fixing a problem, that don't bring in news. That's why we don't want to be around that. Right? Because people don't want to hear that things are really, no, really. People don't want to hear that things are really can be fixed. It's not what we want to hear. Tell me about the bad parts. Tell me all about the bad parts. That's what I want. And because people want the bad part, we let a lot of things go. Now, those shootings that just happened at Popeyes and at this apartment building. What's today, Monday? By Thursday, it's just going to be a wash. No biggie. Maybe they'll go down there and make a memorial. I mean, we're good at that. There's two things that the black community is excellent. I mean, we're pros. We're pros at making memorials and releasing balloons. We are pros. Pros. That's why I said, if I had known, I would have invested into a balloon company. I would have invested into a balloon company. And I would have just sold balloons on black tears. I would be rich. I would be rich. You got a tragedy in the black community? I'm your guy. I'm the balloon guy. I would that'd be my commercial. You had a tragedy in the black community? Don't worry about it. Come on. Matter of fact, I'll make the string on the balloon a little extra long so you can hold on to it just a little longer. That'd be my slogan. Come to my balloon placing. Because we're good at releasing some balloons, boy. We're good at it. And you seen the memorials? I see some memorials on the side of the road where, white people's family has gotten into an accident, and then everybody come down and they make them little makeshift memorials. And I'm sitting there going, what's that? That's not a memorial. Come over there where the black folks are. We'll show you how to put up a memorial. Well, we good at that. But that's not a memorial. You got a bear, a card, maybe a candle. Oh, and a giraffe. Black folks, we get big teddy bears, we get candles, we get pictures, we get stuff that, oh boy, we good at that. Good at that. Because we've had so many, we've done so many. Pros. So white folks, if you want to learn how to release balloons, come on. Next time we have a black tragedy, I'll let y'all know so y'all can come over and videotape it so you can see how to release these balloons. Because it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen. This summer is gonna be. It's already. If we still had shootings in the winter time, because usually in the winter time we don't be. It's too cold to be shooting people. Too hot. But this winter didn't happen. It's supposed to slow down. So between the killing and all of, which y'all don't hear much about, but all of the robberies, the car thefts that we've had. So when these kids are stealing these cars and they crashing them, and then every once in a while when they do get caught, right? Every once in a while when they do get caught, where are they going? Those kids are going back to mom and dad. What is the charge? What did my kid do? Your kid stole a car. Your kid stuck a gun in somebody's face. And he stole this car, carjacking. This car was sitting on the side of the road, and next thing you know, your kid was driving, swerving up and down the street, knocking things over. But we're going to turn this kid over to you because he was only 12, 13, and 14. And we expect you to do something to your kid so this won't happen again. And then the very following week, your kid is in a car with other kids doing the same thing. That happens. That almost 100 some odd cars have been either carjacked or stolen. And you don't even know who did it. That's what you say. Something's got to change, people. Something's got to be different. And these so-called activists are not. Oh, hold on. Wow, that's my. That's my Freestyle Libre 3, letting me know that my blood sugar, for some reason, and I don't know why, is going up. I've only been drinking water. Anyway, man, I tell you, there's days. But we got to do something different, man. We got to do something different, and we got to start thinking different. We got to start believing that we are in charge. The problem is our mentors, our leaders in the home and around the home, our grandmothers and grandpas, things of that sort, are gone. And we did not truly appreciate their leadership. They're gone. We don't have people in the homes now that kids look at. Like when I was growing up, it's like my grandma and my grandpa had so much respect for them too. There's no way in the world I would want to, I was a kid, don't get me wrong. I was a kid. But you know what? I had the respect for my grandma and my grandfather to where I realized what they were doing, what they had to do coming up, putting food on the table. These days, because some of these kids, a lot of these kids, again, out here selling drugs, they buy their own food. They buy their own clothes. So why should I respect you when you really don't do nothing for me? You understand what I'm saying? And we got a lot of that in the black community. I mean, when I go down there, and I just may do this. I usually don't like putting kids on the spot. But if I'm going to tell you about it, I have to show it to you. So what I may end up doing is I may start videotaping some of these kids when I'm down there at 11 o'clock at night asking these kids to go home and don't cause trouble. Just give you guys a glimpse of what I go through when I'm down there trying to get these kids to get off the street, just to go home. It's 11 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. Go home, right? Nothing good can happen to you being out here. Just go home. No. These kids call me everything but a son of God. Everything but the son of God. Tell me where I can go and where I can stick it. These kids that don't have respect for nobody. Nobody. They don't have respect for themselves. They don't have respect for their parents. They don't have respect for their elders. They don't have respect for the law. They don't have respect for nobody. And that's the sad part about this. That's the sad part about this whole thing. So we've got to find a way to make a change. We got to find a way to make things different for these kids. And if that means we need to open up facilities just for these kids, to get these kids, to try to turn these kids around, to try to make a difference in his life, it is time to do that. Now, you look at the Republican Party, they sit there and go, this is not our problem because, all the Republicans are white. They don't have black kids. They don't have to deal with black kids. So they don't care. And that's the problem. And that's one of the reasons why you never see, and you won't see for a long time, Republicans winning statewide, because that's how people see Republicans. They just take care of white people. And that's how Republicans have a mindset, too. You haven't seen a Republican talk to nobody. You haven't seen a Republican. Have you seen Lisa DeMoss on my show? Think about it. What Republican candidate, and I've invited them all. I've told them all, hey, what Republican candidate have you seen come here talk to me? What Republican candidate have you heard that's been in Minneapolis? I follow Michelle Tafoya. Michelle Tafoya follows me. But you ain't never seen me on her show, and you ain't never seen her on my show. Correct? Kendall Qualls got my phone number. His wife has my phone number. You ain't seen Kendall Qualls on here, have you? Let me tell you who I have met with, who is running for governor. Peggy Bennett. I know a lot of people go, like, who is that, Rev? Yeah, she's very quiet. Her name is Peggy Bennett. She's running for governor. And if she was running for independent, if she ran independent, I would be behind her 110%. But she's Republican. And you can't be a Republican. You not in Minnesota. Because Republicans don't do anything. That's why. You don't see Republicans out doing anything. You don't see Republicans out trying to make a difference. You don't see Republicans out trying to change something or try to get laws. You don't see that. If I was a Republican, running for governor, I would be in North Minneapolis, South Minneapolis. I would be on Rice Street talking to the people. That's what I would be doing. But see, the Republicans have this mindset because their base gives them this mindset that white folks in Minnesota can win elections. Let me be the first one to make y'all understand something. Let's look at no. I want you to go back and I want you to look at Donald Trump in the state of Minnesota and the presidency. Donald Trump lost Minnesota. You know why? Because white folks were voting for Donald Trump. I wish they could break it down. I wish they could break it all the way down to saying how many black women, how many black men voted for Donald Trump in Minnesota. I can guarantee you it wasn't many. It's probably what, A.K. Kamara, Kendall Qualls, Walter Hudson. Lacey Johnson, Vernon, probably 8. Probably 8. Sorry, but white folks ain't winning no election on their own in the state of Minnesota. And then watch this here. You probably had in the state of Minnesota, and I'm sure you had some Latino votes. I'm sure you had Latino votes because there is a group called Latino Republicans or Republican Latinos. And you screwed that up. Y'all don't realize how bad you screwed up with the Latinos in Minnesota. When Donald Trump came in here and he started just grabbing them off the street, and he had all of these Latinos all hid up in their houses and all this here type of stuff and businesses, and they didn't know how to pay rent. They didn't have food and all this here type of stuff. The Republicans don't have a clue yet how bad they screwed up with the Latino community here in this state. You at least had a few, you even had a few Somalis on your side. You had a few of them on your side. You don't anymore. Now, Republicans, as much as you want to believe that your base can get you over the hump, it's just not going to happen. Period. Not this year, not next year, not the year after that, and not the year after that. It's just not going to happen. Because think about this for a second. You got black folks, you got Latinos, you got Asians, you got West Africans, you got Nigerians, you got, who else you got? The Hmong, right? Somali, you got so many different groups. So many different groups. Then you add the white people in there with all of those people. Some white people. With all of those other groups of people that call themselves independents and Democrats. And you got one group over at the Republican Party. White folks. You really think that y'all can really? Okay. All right. Y'all keep thinking that. And you're going to keep losing. You lose every single time with that mindset. You lose every single time with that mindset. Maybe one day, I don't know, maybe one day it'll change. And maybe one day you say to yourselves, you know what? Either our base is going to go along with us and we win, or our base is just going to sit back and go, whatever, we're not voting, and we just keep losing. So when you're out in the Rocks and Cows and you're out up in Bemidji or you down in Wilmer or out east or something, out west or something, you need to ask your base, how much is this election worth to you? And find out. And if they say it's worthy enough for us to win, then you need to say, let us do what we need to do to win. Let us go and open the door. Let us open the tent. Let us talk to people that we never talked to before. Let us understand other people's plights and how they got here and how things go. Let us do that. Because if we don't do that, if that doesn't happen, we don't win at all. And the very things that you bitch about here in Minnesota will never change. Why? Because we're not in positions to change anything. Why are we not in position to change anything? Because we're not willing to finally come to our 2 cents in our head. Finally come to what we see on paper. Finally come to the data that is right there in front of us. We can't win with just y'all. We can't win. And the funny part that gets me all the time is when they show the map. And again, let's look at the map of Minnesota, right? Look how red it is. Y'all know as well as I do that some of them little bitty red spots that's on that damn thing ain't got enough people in there to even challenge Hilltop. Hilltop, Minnesota got more people in Hilltop, Minnesota than a lot of these places out in these way out in the country that's red. Y'all know that as well as I do. When your house is 2 miles down the road, and then your next neighbors is 2 miles down the road, and your next neighbors is 2 miles down the road, and y'all count as votes, yeah, that area is going to be red. Everything got to change. Something's got to change. But if I was, finishing up real quick, if I was a Republican, that's what I would do. If I'm running statewide, man, I would literally go in and say, I need to understand you. I need to know something about you. We have to make a change. So I'm willing to sit down with you. I'm willing to be on TV with you. I'm willing to have the hard conversation with you. And until Lisa DeMoss, because if y'all think Lisa's going to get the black vote, that's not happening. So if that's the mindset of the Republicans, oh, well, if we put a black woman up there, or if we get a Kendall Qualls, a black man, then black people will, for sure, probably follow. Let me remind you of Virginia. Winston-Salem, or whatever her name. Let me remind you of that. Let me remind you of this cat, where is he, in Michigan? A black Republican who got 0% of the black vote. So if that's the mindset of the Republicans, that we're going to get this black woman to run and maybe we can cipher some black, y'all don't know the black community too well. You don't. Just because y'all like a certain type of black person, just because y'all like y'all blacks the way y'all like y'all blacks, don't mean we like our blacks like that. Doesn't mean we like our blacks like you like your blacks. We got two total different, we like two total different types of blacks. Yeah, we do. Y'all know how y'all like y'all blacks. Y'all like your blacks with no black. No black. You like them to come in and say me, oh, I'm not black. I have nothing to do with black folks. I don't believe in anything black folks have. Yeah, I know my skin color, but I have no wants or needs or want to understand the ancestors. I have no wants or needs or want to understand police brutality. I have no wants or needs to want to understand welfare, want to understand what goes on in the community. That's how you like your blacks. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Y'all wouldn't like, no, man, not me. You wouldn't like a black like me. You would not like this type of black. You got to have your blacks in a certain way. You got to have your black with some cream. You got to have it, because I'm straight black, man. Straight black. There's no cream. You ain't getting nothing. No milk, no cream, none of that. Now, certain blacks in Minnesota, they're creamed out. You couldn't even tell it. You'd be like, damn, did you start off? You started off as a black coffee. You look whiter than I am. That's how you like your blacks. And I'm telling you, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So the Republican Party has come up with it. They before clock strikes 12 and we get into November, let me just warn the Republican Party right now. Y'all got some work to do. Because if y'all think y'all going to sneak a Kendall Qualls or a Lisa DeMoss under the black community as if like we're going to run out and vote for them too, and they ain't done nothing, they ain't put no time in, you out your mind. Y'all out your mind. You're out your mind. So I've put it out there for Lisa DeMoss to come over here and have a conversation. Let's have that talk. Let's have that talk. But that won't happen because they are in that mindset. This is how our Republican Party, we got to go along with the Republican Party. We got to do it. I wouldn't. I'll do everything. If I was running as a Republican Everything that the Republican Party isn't doing, I would do. I know I would piss some people off. I'll piss off the base and some everything. But that's what I would do to win. That's not going to happen. But anyway, fam, I am done. I appreciate you. I am 15 minutes over because I did start at right on 7 o'clock. So anyway, it's a Monday, like I said before. I appreciate you guys. I thank you so very much. I hope everything is going good with you from here on out. More than likely, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Hey, did anybody watch that UConn Syracuse lady game, the game with the ladies? Did y'all watch that? Anybody have a chance to see it when it was 82-29? At some point in time, there's got to be a rule, man. Like baseball, right? I mean, you're up 30, and you know you're not coming back. Just play your whole bench. Everybody, you're up 30, everybody should play their bench, period. But come on, man. UConn, I'd have been like, guys, just run the clock out. I'm putting my bench in. I'm going to let my bench get in and play. I'm not going to play my starters. But, yeah, they was about to hang 100 on these girls, and these girls hadn't even scored 40 points. They almost hung 100 on these girls. And the game wasn't even over yet. That's crazy. Nobody want to watch that type of – I don't even enjoy watching stuff like that. I'm a type person, I want it to come down 3 seconds on the clock. You're taking it out from the inbounds. Score is tied. What are you going to do with that? That's what I like. But these blowout, that, man, I was feeling bad for the coach. The coach is sitting there going, oh, my God, my girls can't. Literally, they couldn't shoot. These girls from Syracuse, they couldn't shoot. Literally, layup, inside the paint jumpers. I'm like, how did they get this far? Whomever they played to get to Syracuse had to be some really, they had to be really bad. Whomever Syracuse played to get to UConn, that team, they really bad. Unless UConn is just that dominant. But I didn't see it on the floor, really. I didn't come in until the end of the third quarter. No. I came in when it was 82-29. So I forgot I think they had a whole quarter to go through. The fourth quarter. I think they was in the third quarter. But that's not fun to watch. That's not fun to watch at all. And it wasn't. And I watched the whole game. I finished off the game because I wanted to see if these girls, I was like, they're at 80 and they got a whole quarter to go. They're gonna put 100 points on these girls. And these girls over here, they're gonna have like 35 points. Sad. So I don't know who the coach is over there at Syracuse. But lady, I feel sorry for you. No, really, I do. I don't know if someone put a lid on the top of the hoop or what was going on with your girls. But Lord, I feel bad for you. That's just anyway. Hey, I'm out of here. I got to go. I appreciate you. I think I'm going to jump on here. Looks like Carl got a room going with Dexter. I don't know if you guys know who Dexter is, but Dexter Taylor, this guy that's in prison for 10 years up in New York. The racist system that put him in jail because he built AR-15. And so they decided to make an example out of this black man. That's pretty much all it was. But he is in prison right now. I'm going to jump over there. Look like Carl's got a space going on over there with him right now. I haven't talked to him in a minute and see what's going on, people. So anyway, y'all have a good night. So appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you very much. Hey, and if y'all can do me a favor, man, and, retweet this. retweet this. And if you ever go over on Twitter, YouTube, subscribe to my, I do have a channel. I'll throw that out there. And let me know. More than likely, I'll have to find out because I don't usually hear from Don. Let me know if he's going to do Black News this week or not. If so, I'll let you guys know. Y'all can bounce in with us on Saturday, or watch the replay of that, one or the other. So it's totally up to you. But like always, understand and realize that we serve a good God, a mighty God, a God that no matter what you do, how you do it, when you do it, right? That God, the God that we serve, the God that we love, all right, it's going to make everything all good for each and every one of you. And we all should know that. So when you think of him, that should put a smile on your face. And you know what we do with those smiles. We smile at somebody, so somebody smile back at you. I'm out, fam. Y'all have a good night. See ya.